Welcome to Tales from the Fandom, a podcast that brings a special guest out of the multiverse and straight to you. And now your host, David Ginsburg.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Tales from the Fandom. Today is a special episode as I'm joined by my wife, Michelle, for a Beyond the Binge, what we might start doing as a series. And we have just finished binging Amazon Prime's The Boys, which is based on a comic book series. This comic book and subsequently show follows a group of men who are eager to take down equivalents of a dark Justice League and stuff that is going on around it and surrounding it. And so we just finished binge watching it. And since my wife is here and I've got a microphone, I figured we would just talk for a few minutes about the show. I was the one who had actually suggested it as our next binge watch after we had finished Netflix's Ozark, which is another great show that you should check out. But we're here to talk about The Boys. I guess my question to you is, what did you like? Did you like the show? Is it something that you enjoyed?
Overall, I really did enjoy it. I liked the whole concept of superheroes gone bad. I do like that it was something different. It was something fresh. I mean, you always have villains and, your villains and your superheroes, but it was good that it was a nice spin. It was a nice spin to see the supposed like super league per se being just the ultimate of evil wickedness, and just how society was like just so duped. It was a really good spin. I liked it.
A lot of the people that have listened to the podcast know that I am not a big fan of DC Comics or of like the Supermans and the Batmans, but I really dug the take that they did with the Seven, which is like the 7 top superheroes working in their executive building and having all their privilege and getting their crime itinerary, as I do the finger quotes around that, about what they're going to do, and they're going to have their film crew there to film it to make sure it gets on the news. They're not really patrolling or trying to save ordinary citizens. It's all staged and set up, and I really like that dark aspect of the characters. You have like Homelander, who's the Superman equivalent, and Black Noir, who's the Batman one, and the Deep, who might have the most ridiculous superhero name in the show as the Aquaman equivalent, which it just blows me away, the different characters. I know, there's a lot of characters. There's the group of the boys, which is like Billy Butcher and Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and of course the main character that they kind of follow around, which is Huey. And I really enjoyed Huey. I really liked his story arc, and I really loved his relationship with Starlight, aka Annie. I really loved them both, and those were 2 of my favorite characters. During this show, who did you like? Who were some of your favorites?
I really, really do love Starlight. I like her, how she stayed true to herself. She was, this kind of wholesome-ish girl, pretty normal girl who, made it into the 7, which is the super league in this show. I liked that she, she's very relatable and just sweet and just wants to do good. And of course, I really like that. I do love also Kamiko. I don't think that's her name. Kamiko. I love Kamiko. I would love to see more of a backstory on her. I would like to get more. I wish it was, if she does develop, a voice, I'd love to hear her perspective of things.
One of the things that I think that caught us both off guard, even though Amazon does a really great job with laying out like what you're going to see as far as like violence or sexual content and nudity, is that some of the violence was really gory, over the top, And I know that they're making it a point to get that across with certain characters about just how downright awful they are. But there's definitely times where you and I were both cringing about what was going on and what was being shown on screen, either visually or even with the different audio cues.
Yeah, I definitely think it was a bit much at times. It was, and I'm not a skittish person, but it was just way over the top. There were two things that I didn't care for in the show, and like I said, I'm not afraid of gore, and I'm okay with gore, but I just think it was just too much. It was just unnecessary at times. And I know that was the point, and I know it was done purposely, but it was just overkill. The second thing, and I will say this, like, if you have any kind of, I don't know if you are kind of like a religious person, there is like a little bit at this one episode where they go to like a faith festival or whatever. It does get a little, to me, it was like over the top, like the sacrilege aspect of it. I don't know if that bothers people, but to me, I was just like, okay, now we can really like maybe not do this. But it was brief, and it was to the character. It really did show how angry that certain character was. So, just fair warning, those were the two things I didn't like, and I don't like when shows kind of like do that. So that kind of bothered me just a little bit, and then like just over the top gore.
So the show kind of left us, well, not kind of, the show definitely left us on a cliffhanger, and one that I really wasn't expecting to come out of the blue. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because the series itself I thought was fairly well done. But whenever season 2 comes around, which I'm sure it will be at some point, I don't know if they had started pre-production this year or late last year, if they had gotten started or even had completed work on it. I'm not sure. But do you think we'll be binge watching this season 2 whenever it does make its way onto Amazon?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely worthwhile watching season 1. I will say the first episode, it didn't grab me. I was curious, and I'm happy I did continue and watch the second episode because I was invested then. But yeah, I'd like to see where it goes. I don't think this will be a long running show, but I'd love to see what happens or where they will go, just seeing how things ended. It'll be, yeah, I'm curious.
I'm definitely hoping for some more information on characters like Lamplighter, like what happened to him, why did he decide to retire? Black Noir would be interesting. Now, we had talked before we started recording, and you had some words about one of the characters, the Deep, and I'd love for you to be able to share your thoughts on what the Deep meant to you as far as a character and what you thought of his character.
The Deep. I have never seen a superhero portrayed as stupidly as that character. I kind of liked his character. I mean, he did some awful things, but I just think he is so stupid. And like, I've just never, they really did a good job of just portraying how dumb he was. But his character is just so pathetic. It's just such like a pathetic, porpoise, pompous. I just have no words. I don't know. He's something.
He is definitely something, all right. I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing where his character goes next season. If he makes it out of a certain town that he is stuck in at the end of the series. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with a number of the characters and seeing where they go from here. If you've read the comic book that this is based on, let me know. Let me know if it's something I should check out. Let me know if you are a fan of the show. If you're not a fan, I'd love to hear your thoughts or comments on it. Talk to me about it. Let me know. You can reach me on Twitter or email, and just send me a message and let me know your thoughts on The Boys. And before we wrap up, I'd love to know what superpower you would have if you were a superhero or supervillain.
Based on the powers represented on the show, I wasn't impressed. I will say that. Starlight, who's one of the main characters, I am not impressed with her superpower at all, because she just sparkles kind of, and it kind of I don't want to call her, I don't even want to, I hate bringing up Twilight, that awful series Twilight, but with the sparkle powers, but she was just, oh, I'm sparkly, and it was no, it just wasn't good. And let's say A-Train, he runs really fast, so what? The Deep, he talks and has sex with dolphins, yay. I just wasn't impressed with a lot of and then Maeve, or Queen Maeve, I don't even know what her superpower is. So I don't know. I think for a minor character, I'm going to get his name wrong. Let's see. Mesmer had the best superpower of reading minds. And if I was a superhero, I think I would want that power as well. And I like that he didn't just read minds when he randomly walked by people. It had to be by touch. And I think that is exactly how you would want the superpower to be, just to read a mind with touch, so that you just don't go crazy, in a department store or the grocery store, just hearing random thoughts. But, I was really disappointed in the Core 7's powers.
That's kind of harsh, because they're all Justice League people. So that's okay. I'm cool with that. And I do have to say, we were looking up the cast list, and when we got to Mesmer, I could not believe that was Haley Joel Osment, and it blew me away. And I couldn't believe that was Haley Joel Osment. Not only that, but Elizabeth Shue is in it. Billy Butcher is Carl Urban, which you might know him from Star Trek, the movie series, or Lord of the Rings. It was really crazy just seeing some of the people that were in the show, and I'm really hoping that a number of them come back to do some more work for season 2. And that is it for us talking about The Boys. We will see if this continues to be an episode that comes out after we binge watch a show. I think maybe it'll be good. Let me know your thoughts as we work on it and watch another show. I don't know what we're going to watch next, but we'll binge watch something, and I'll let you know about it.
Thank you for listening to Tales from the Fandom. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Tales from the Fandom to see photos, links, leave feedback, and check out upcoming guests. If you'd like to be a guest, email David at talesfromthefandom@gmail.com.